people ask me what the best part about doing YouTube is. And trust me, it's not the ladies. Because there's not any. If I had to pick one part that I really enjoy, it's getting to interact with all of you, with you guys. And you guys are awesome. Y'all are a very awesome audience. And every now and then, one of you guys will reach out to me through my email. Not super often, but still, I get a lot of you guys who send me photos of your collections and also just really nice comments to tell me to keep up the great work I do, which I wouldn't call it great work. I'm kind of lazy. Last November, I had a fan, or I guess a viewer, reach out to me and offer to give me his entire collection. So of course, I just can't not say yes. Like, what would that make me look like? Definitely not the plastic commander, am I right? So we talked for a little while, and then we worked out a process. I had him send it to my local FedEx store, and I picked it up, and now I have it here. And I've been meaning to do this video for quite some time. I just haven't had a chance to make it. I've had a lot of other stuff I've wanted to make videos on the last few months, but I've been saving it for a rainy day, and if you've seen the weather here in Texas, you know that it's a rainy day. In today's video, we are taking a look at someone else's toy Armyman collection. This was from a viewer named Cotter. Cotter, thank you so much for your collection. This was so nice of you, and I hope I do it justice by talking about it in this video, and I'll make sure all of these figures are very well taken care of. Also, a side note, he also sent me the big Alamo playset you saw in one of my last videos about a month ago, so I won't be talking about that set here. You can go watch that video and I'll link it down in the description. Before we jump right into the video, just a reminder to subscribe and also like the video. Also, go ahead and leave a comment down there because I don't get a lot of them, and more than likely I'll reply to yours. So what do you got to lose? Not to mention, go ahead and join the Discord if you haven't already. I'll put a link to that down in the description below. We have tons of fun over there, and we're almost at 170 members, so we're active on it every single day, so you're missing out if you're not there. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump right into the video.
Welcome to Mail Call!
Hello one, and hello all. I recorded myself going through these first two bags, but I didn't have a light that looked really bad, so I just left them all scattered out. I know what's what. We'll figure it out. So anyway, what we're looking at right here in this big box and right in front of me is the accumulation, if you will, the collection, perhaps even, of a viewer named Cotter. So Cotter reached out to me last year in the holiday season. He was like, I have my old Armyman collection. I can't get rid of it. I'm having trouble with the local thrift stores. They don't want it because they don't want the military toys, which makes sense. I offered to pay for shipping, and he was like, no, don't worry about it. And we worked out a deal through the UPS store, and he sent them to me through there, and I went and picked them up. And thank you so much, Connor. This is so extremely nice of you. So, just a disclaimer, any of you guys who do want to send me anything, whether it's Armyman or that you just want me to review, or fan art, whatever, I will not absolutely accept money or gift cards just right away. No money, no gift cards. Which I don't think any of y'all are going to send those anyway, but specifically, if you want to send me anything, just email me, and maybe, I'm not saying probably, but maybe we can work something out. So just keep that in mind. It's not 100% definitely. I just accepted this because I knew it would make a great video. But Cotter, thank you so much if you are watching this. We haven't RSVP'd since last year, but I did send you an email letting you know that I did get these, and now I'm doing a video on them. So, also, Cotter, judging by your Armyman collection, I'm going to guess you're probably around the same age as me, and that you got most of these in the late 90s, early 2000s, judging by what's here. So, first, what I want to look at, I'm going to put that back, because we got a bunch of Timmy figures. So everyone loves Timmy figures, and judging by this shade of green that they're in, I'm going to say they're late 90s, early 2000s Timmy. But yeah, these look really crisp, really nice, very high quality. It's crazy to me that back in the day, Timmy was considered like the cheapo Army Men brand. That was like, they were called the king of the dime store toy because these are super high quality, and today they fetch a decent amount of money. The new ones being reproduced, that is. So, we got a bunch of Timmy Army Men, so I'm not going to look at those too hard. But what I do want to look at, what was really interesting to me, I'm going to dig them out of this pile, this conglomerate that I have formed. We got a bunch of Airfix and Matchbox clones, which is always really nice. So, of course, we got a bunch of these right here. These are clones of Airfix British paratroopers. And over time, they kind of like morphed them to have like a regular U.S. Army helmet, although this is supposed to be a British paratrooper. And I think in the originals, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, they have the British paratrooper helmet, which I guess kind of looks like this, but anywho. But we also got this another Airfix, Matchbox. So this is a copy of a Matchbox American Soldier. I don't have any original Matchbox figures, mostly because they're very hard to come by. They don't do any reproductions, and the originals go for a decent amount of money. So if you have some, hold on to them pretty tight. But we also got knockoff Matchbox British soldiers. We got a couple of those. This is a knockoff German Matchbox figure. If you know that big World War II bucket by SCS Direct, they copied a bunch of these, and they had been making those for years, so I do have a bunch of those, but I don't have any originals, so it's always nice to have some clones as well. So, really, really cool, and I'm going to throw those back in the pile. And next, what I'm going to look at are these, because we got a bunch of Hong Kong German soldiers. So, there was a company out of Hong Kong, I don't know what they're called. In fact, I'm going to assume that the company that sold these and the company that actually made these are two separate entities, which how it works sometimes. And on top of that, I'm going to assume that multiple different companies sold these in multiple different stores. So, but yeah, these are clones of, again, Airfix and Matchbox soldiers, mostly Airfix, you can tell by looking at them. I think this German soldier is Matchbox, correct me if I'm wrong, which I probably am. But yeah, I actually like the sculpting on here. It actually doesn't look half bad. Like, the rifle actually looks fairly detailed, considering it's a clone. But yeah, we got a guy with an MP40, or he has that one weird machine gun with the stock. I almost said stalk. But yeah, we got a rifleman, really, really cool. I do have a good handful of these. In fact, I got a bunch of these at a lot a few years ago, just as a byproduct, but it's always nice to have more. But yeah, I see these in thrift and antique stores all the time, and the last time I saw these, the guy wanted $15 for a bag of them, which is ridiculous. Like, just a Ziploc bag with like 50 of these guys in it, and I was just like, that is ridiculous. So, just so you guys know, just because something is old does not mean that it's valuable. Just so you guys know. And up next, we have these right here, which these are clones, again, of Airfix. We got a lot of Airfix clones in here. But more specifically, we got a ton of British soldier clones, African campaign British soldiers. Like, here's the kneeling rifleman, which he actually looks pretty nice. Tommy gun guy, pretty cool. And the British officer from the African set. So, I always thought this guy kind of looked a little goofy with just the way his foot was raised and whatnot. I know he's charging into battle, but still. So, we also got a British rifleman. Really cool. And also, this guy who was like my favorite guy from that set. Like, unironically. Just the guy laying with the Brid machine gun. I just think this guy looks really cool. I actually got into a bidding match with someone who was selling some of those. And he wanted like $20 for the bag on eBay. And I was like, I'll give you like 15. And he would not budge. He would not budge. He was firm at 20. But anyway, poor financial decisions aside. It also came with some, not German, Russian soldiers. some Airfix Russian soldiers, which you don't see those fairly often. These are, of course, clones, and I'm combing to see if there's more. Nope. Here we go. This guy right here who has a PPSH, rifleman with a just a rifle. I don't know what kind of rifle that is, but it looks like his barrel's missing. And this guy hawking a grenade over his shoulder, which I've always loved this guy right here. And they don't look half bad. So these are probably from the early 90s, just copies of Airfix. Here's another British soldier, which he also looks pretty good. Just some really decent clone figures, honestly. But mixed in with those, I don't know what these are. Can someone please help me out here? I have never seen these before in my professional Armyman career. Hold on, there's another that's really, really goofy. Let me dig through the horde. Like this guy right here throwing a grenade. It looks like he has a machete, although I think that's a rifle with a broken butt. If I had to guess. And then, yep, in fact, there we go. What kind of rifle is that? Look at that. Look at the trigger guard. That's ridiculous. That is utterly absurd. Why is it so big and profound? Looks like a toy gun. Looks like he is throwing... Like he has a toy gun. He's throwing a grenade. But here's another Airfix PPSH Russian soldier guy. Machine gun guy. Where is the ridiculous guy? Hold on a second. Hold your horses. Horses be held. Here he is. Okay, he was hiding over here. Yeah, this guy caught me off guard because I was just like, what in the world? He's like pointing behind him and he has like a revolver. Yeah, like what's he doing? Like who's he pointing at? Like you follow me into battle. Like ridiculousness, but still some pretty nice figures. Oh, and finally, I saw most of the ones of these were broken, but this is a really nice prone Russian machine gunner. I really like that figure. But yeah, really nice clone figures. But we're gonna kick it up a notch because he also had, that's right, BMC toys. So this is the BMC D-Day playset, and I'm not gonna talk too in depth about this set. I am going to show off some honorable mentions, though, and I am going to talk a little bit about this set, because this set is a little bit controversial. A lot of people are divided on this set for a lot of different reasons, and I'm going to give my quick opinions on it. Firstly, a lot of people don't like the way these figures look, which if I take one of the American soldiers, yeah, you see why. Like, his legs are super ridiculously long, his head is real weirdly oval-shaped. I think the BAR does look nice, though. And I do think a lot of the detailing on here, like the clothes and stuff, looks pretty good. But yeah, nowhere near as crisp and nice as the Japanese Marine soldiers. Like, look at this grenade thrower. Looks like he's clapping his hands really awkwardly. But no, he's just throwing a grenade. Then, of course, this guy getting shot, and let's just not even talk about the BB gun he's holding. Like, that's really bad. But you gotta understand, these were made in, like, the 90s. They were designed and first sold in, like, the 90s, so... I'm gonna cut them some slack, and on top of that, BMC hadn't really done anything with unique figures at that time, to my knowledge, so... This was kind of a new playing field for them, so... But other than that, it came with an Erwin Rommel. It also came with, if I could dig him out, oh my god, here he is. It also came with Theodore Roosevelt's nephew, who very famously, on, I think, Utah Beach, led American soldiers up it and was shaking his cane. So, really cool. It also came with another British guy, this guy right here, who I don't know who this guy is supposed to be. Also, I just realized that machine gun in his hand doesn't look very great. But so yeah. Again, a lot of people have a lot of mixed feelings on this set, and if I show off another figure, just... This looks like Slender Man. Like, he looks like Slender Man throwing a potato masher, awkwardly holding an MP40 by the magazine. So, not the worst figures in the world by far, but they definitely do have a lot of valid criticisms. But I have a bunch of these, and I've been wanting to review them for a long time, and I'm really glad I got sent these, because now I have them all just sorted out, and I can do an honest review. So, thank you, Connor. That actually helps me out a bunch. So I'm going to put these up, and we're going to look at some of the other stuff in this box.
You'll be a local hero, like Paul Revere.
The British will be here soon. We shall stand our ground and fight them to the death.
Yes, yes! Although, I mean, one of us should probably warn everyone, that the British are coming. I mean, not me. I mean, I want to fight. I mean, oh, shoot, I've got the horse. I mean, but if anyone else wants to go...
I'll go.
No one? All right. I'll make sure everyone remembers your names.
Alright, so I was telling myself, I really want to review these in the future, but I'm afraid of, not really getting the scope of everything I was sent, so you know what, I'll just do a quick review of these now. So, these are the American Souvenirs American Revolution figures. These, I got a bunch of cat hair on my microphone. This is the problem with having cats, and now I'm distracted. But I'll talk while I pluck it off hair by hair. So, these are originally BMC figures, but of course, just like a lot of stuff American Souvenirs sells, they ripped off BMC. But still, these are pretty nice figures for what they are. So, Hobby Lobby sold these for years. You can still get them online and at a lot of hobby stores, and also, like, if you go to Lexington, Concord, Boston, just any American Revolutionary War site, like a heritage site, I'm sure if they have a souvenir shop, they sell them. But, you probably saw in the background, I got these. I don't know what these are. If anyone could tell me they're plastic, I will say that. It's kind of a rubbery plastic. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I'm not sure who made these or what. I don't see any branding on them. That's that one. And then I also got this one, which this guy looks sick. With the sword and the horse. That's really cool. But yeah, if you know who made those, let me know. But anyway, getting so sidetracked. So, I had a bunch of these as a kid. Like, I probably had like 2 or 3 bags of these growing up. I actually do have like 2 bags currently that I've bought in the past, so this will be my 3rd one, and it's a complete set, pretty much. And one thing I like about BMC and American Souvenirs is that they make a lot of different poses. So I'm going to start with the smaller one, which I think is the Havarians. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they were mercenaries hired by the British to fight against the American colonists. So we got this guy right here, who, they're all black, but this guy looks so cool. Like, you don't see a lot of black army men. Like, not really. Just solid black, like this, like jet black. But still, he looks really cool, and this is probably my favorite figure in this whole set. I just love the way he looks. Like, he looks like he should be up against the wall, kind of just, like, peeking around the wall, knocking everything over. Okay. Then we got, of course, a guy firing his rifle, which that is a long flintlock. He's kind of aiming it upwards, like he just fired it, and the recoil pushed him back. Really nice. We got a guy who's running to the battlefield with his rifle. Really cool. So if you don't know, one of the main engagements they were in was the one where George Washington crossed the Delaware in the winter. I can't remember what that town was called. I'm not super well versed in my American Revolutionary War history. I took American History 1 and 2 in college, and it's just not coming back to me. But anyway, it was the Hungarians who fought against him, and the reason that was so crazy was because back then, in traditional warfare, you just didn't fight in the winter. Both sides would just hunker down and, like, you know, fight the winter, essentially. So, that's really cool. And this guy is also aiming his rifle up, but he is crouched. And I put these guys in with the British, because I'm assuming they'd be fighting with them. Then this guy is also a really cool figure with the musket in the air, like he's going to bayonet someone. Really, really nice. Like, these are very, very nice figures, even though they're technically knockoffs. So, up next, I'll do the Americans. So, you get a handful of American soldiers. You don't get as many as you do... Well, I think you actually get slightly more than the Hungarians I just looked at, so my mistake. But you'll kind of see what I mean here in a second. So we got a few of these riflemen, which this looks really good, really solid. I really like the way he looks. Oh my goodness, like dominoes. Again, a crouched rifleman, really cool. You can set up some volley fire action. Then you got what is probably their commander with a saber and a flintlock pistol. That pistol is a little awkward looking, though. It kind of looks like a water hose. Just a little bit. So I actually do have the BMC versions of these as well. And if I had enough foresight, I would have pulled some of them out to do a side-by-side. But more than likely, you have these figures too. Over here, we have this guy who has one of those tools that you clean out a cannon with. He is going to whack some red coats. I almost said wet coats. Wet coats over the head with it. Very nice. And then over here, none other than the big boss himself, Jorge Washing Machine. One of the bravest American generals America ever did see. And he is in his military garb. He has his sword. I don't think he ever took this thing off. Let's be honest. It probably smelled really bad. Like, if you look at the one in the Smithsonian, bet that smells really bad. You think that still smells like him? You think if I asked really nicely, one of the employees at the Smithsonian would open that up and let me take a whiff? Go. Moving right along, we got two horsemen. They're both the same, so I'll just grab one. And this is a very chalky, thick piece of plastic of the horse. It's solid all the way through, which I like that. They didn't cheap out. And our horseman looks like he... I want to say Paul Revere, but this probably isn't Paul Revere. This is probably just some dude on a horse. It looks like he's grabbing his stomach, like he just got shot. Which... he's supposed to be the one doing the drive-by, so it's kind of embarrassing that he got shot, right? Skill issue. Put him back. And I'll move my camera back over here, because we get two cannons, and the cannons look really nice, and judging by the fact that we get so many dudes with little tools and things on the American side, I'm assuming it's theirs. We also got this guy running with the barrel, which I'm going to assume that's a barrel of gunpowder, like a powder keg. We got this guy who, I don't really know what that is. I don't think it's the same as this thing, but missing the top and bottom. It looks like one of those little whips you whip the back of a horse with. So I don't know. If anyone is better versed on American history than I am, let me know. And then you got this guy who just hanging out, having a laugh, which why wouldn't you? It's war. You know, there's always lots to laugh about in war. That's what Ernest Hemingway wrote about, how funny and how fun war is. Yeah, how hilarious war can be. He laughed a lot. He was a happy guy, wasn't he, that Ernest Hemingway? But yeah, all these figures look really good. And he plays good support to the cannons and whatnot. And then finally, we got the British soldiers, which also all look really cool. They have these fancy-looking hats. I don't know what unit or regiment that would have put them in, but the detailing is really nice. It's a really nice long rifles. You know, I like things nice and long. And we got this guy raising his sword in the air like he's another commander with a water hose in his hand. And he's about to command his troops to fire. See the canteen, the backpack, the ammo pouch. And in the back over here, I just set it over here, we got a little mortar. Yeah, that is a mortar. This is like one of the coolest pieces too. Like, I had a couple of these as a kid, and I always thought it was so cool. You never see, like, old school mortars and army sets.
Oh my god, I killed him.
So, keep it going. Gonna ignore that blunder. We got a general right here. I don't know if it's supposed to be Benedict Arnold or Tarleton the Butcher or whoever. So, I don't know. I guess he's vague enough for him to be whatever Revolutionary War general your heart desires. And we get a couple of figures who are creeping up and running. There he is. Okay. I only got one of the runners, but... And this is a complete set. Like, Connor made sure to send me every nook and cranny, every piece. So, yeah, really cool to add to your little scene. And again, if you built, or I don't think I said this actually, if you made dioramas in like the 2000s and 90s, you probably have bought these figures before, even if you don't like army men. I remember being a kid and being in school whenever we talked about the Civil War, which we're about to look at these figures too. I'm sure y'all are anticipating those. But... all the kids who did Civil War dioramas would go and buy those Civil War army men that Hobby Lobby sold, which we are about to look at here in a moment. So, yeah, you've probably seen these before, and you've probably bought them before. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole set. The only figure I'm missing is this guy right here, who's aiming down, which is always nice. Not a super practical figure, but if you got like a fort with some walls, that's, you know, who else are you gonna call? This guy. You know, we can't pose our army men, unfortunately. But yeah, really cool, really nicely detailed. Like, honestly, a really great set. Like, I'd recommend these and the BMC ones, but I'd recommend the BMC ones first, because those are a little bit better in quality. So let's move it right over to the Civil War.
Come on, Barney, if you're going to be General Grant, you have to have a drink.
Yeah, but I'm a recovering alcoholic, so...
One drink won't hurt.
Dearest Timmy the Enchanter, I'm writing to you from the battlefield of Gettysburg. The battle has been long and hard, and there's no end to the carnage in sight. We have lost many good men here in this war of attrition. Both our generals are trying to hash out a peace deal, but we know the details none. I have been stuck on the front line, fighting and toiling away, working the cannons and firing my gun. Boom. That was me, firing my gun. That old General Grant came by during the peace talks, and he whacked that Stonewall Jackson with his horse, and he trampled him, and trampled him some more. I guess that was a bit of a morale boost. Hopefully this battle ends shortly, but until then... Alright, get your powder caps and your cannons and your racist Confederate flags ready, because we're talking about the Civil War. So, just a heads up, there were way more pieces than this. I just set up one of everything just to give y'all a sample. I do want to review this set in the future, but like I said, a lot of these I'm saving for future specials and videos. Like, I want to do a Civil War special, an American Revolution special. I also want to talk about those BMC videos in another video. Did I just say that? I want to talk about those BMC figures in another video. It'll probably be one of my next videos, to be honest, because I'm not starved for content, but I am kind of starved for easy content I can just slap out. And those would be a good video I can just slap out. Great. But yeah, I set up a decent sample. I set up the house, which is really cool. It's a really nice piece. I'll just do some twirling so y'all can see. So this came in a larger playset made by American Souvenirs, and I actually don't know if this is a BMC ripoff. I don't think BMC made these. I think these are original to American Souvenirs. I'm not 100% sure. Like I've been saying, let me know if I'm just blatantly incorrect, because I would really like to know. I've actually been rather curious about that. So, but you get a lot of good stuff. So, growing up, I had the bag. I probably bought like 5 bags of these in my childhood. Again, Hobby Lobby sold these, and they still do sell them, just they're a little different now. Of course, they don't have the Confederate flag in them anymore. Race's Uncle Joe, who lives in a trailer with one of the wheels falling off. You keep telling him it's a hazard, like, Uncle Joe, you need to get that wheel fixed or else you're going to die, and he just throws his beer cans of Schlitz at you, and he just tells you, stop talking to me, Clay. Clay, I hate you. I hate you. How's your mom? Like, that Uncle Joe? Yeah, he probably doesn't know that, so just a little food for thought. But one of the things that really impresses me about this set is that both sides have tons of unique poses. The riflemen, however, those are standard. So both sides have both of these riflemen, one standing, one kneeling, which they both look really good. And these are, of course, the older ones. I think the newer ones they make are a little bit crisper than that. Of course, I put him on the wrong side. Again, I will do a Civil War special here in the future. I don't know what sub count. Like most of y'all know, I do a special for every sub count. Next special will be at 10K. So if you haven't subscribed, hit that button already. But a lot of figures like this guy here, this guy is unique to the Confederate Army. And he has a thing around his shoulder and back that I think was... I always see Civil War soldiers with these. And I don't know what they are, so if you know a lot about the Civil War, tell me. My, pre-World War I history isn't the best, I'll be honest. So, I'm definitely a World War II, Vietnam era kind of hyperfixer. So, but also, again, unique is this guy running with the American flag, which I also think this American flag might be incorrect. That may be a few too many stars. I don't know. But, again, also, this guy right here with his rifle like this, he is unique to the Union, and the face sculpt looks really good. Look at that. You can make out a fair amount of detail, like his hair and stuff. I really, really like that. This guy here, he is unique to the Confederates. Again, really nice face. It looks like all the Confederates have these big meaty beards too. Okie dokie, so... Okay, so this set comes with a bunch of accessories too, like this wagon. That makes no sense. It would be great if there was a way to connect it to the horse somehow. Maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. But what's really interesting is this little piece here, and I won't take it off. It comes off. It's like a little trunk. But yeah, it's on 2 pegs in the back. I know a lot about pegs, trust me. Oh yeah, there it goes. Yeah, it just pops back in there. Although it's not the most sound thing, so just keep that in mind. But, speaking of the horse, we get some horse riders. We got what looks to be Robert E. Lee right here. In fact, yeah, I think that is supposed to be Robert E. Lee. And then for the Union, I believe, we got Ulysses S. Grant, judging by the hat. Both of them look very good, very nice. Their coats look really good. We also get 2 generals, one for each side, who are standing, and I don't think these are the same ones. I think this guy is supposed to be someone else. I don't know who. Yeah, I'm not sure who. And then this guy, I'm hard-pressed to believe, is Stonewall Jackson. Or, no, maybe it's Pickett. Could be Pickett, whose first name I'm avoiding because I can't remember. But yeah, we also get a lot of figures, and along with the cannon, which we got right here, we get a handful of figures to man it. We got this guy right here. There's one for each side who has the little thing to clean the cannon out, just like with earlier, and it does not fit in the cannon hole. And we also get this guy here who's holding his hand out. I always assumed he was like pushing the wheel, but I love this guy because one thing I loved to do as a kid was I would line up a couple of these, like, you know, at the end of a soccer game for kids where they're just like, good game. Like, that's how, like, just good war. Like, that's what I always thought of growing up. But yeah, those are really, really nice figures. And then we got this guy here, and for years I thought this guy was carrying a bucket of water, like a pail. But actually, I found out through watching the movie Zulu, this is actually like an ammo canister for their cartridges, and you get one of these guys for each side. So that is really dope. And then, for each side, you get this guy, which I don't know if this guy is just hot, like it's sweaty. It's kind of a terrifying face. That's a jump scare if I've ever seen one. That kind of jump scared me a little low-key. I'm a little shaken. It's dead silent in my house, so that's a little freaky. But I don't know if he was, like, trying to beat the heat or what, or he got shot. He makes a good dead figure, though, so just lay him down back over there. So we're all in all a really nice little setup. I think I just covered every single figure. I guess not this one specific marching dude. You get a lot of different dudes marching with their rifles slung over them or whatnot. So it gives you a lot of variety. And of course also I don't think I showed off the guy running with... Oh yeah, I did. Sorry, yeah I did. So I was recording this to be one long take. Y'all might have noticed the cut, but my iPhone reminded me I have no storage, so I just went into my iMovie and deleted every single video I had stashed there. So, just to free up some room. So that's the perks of having an iPhone for over 2 years, is you just run out of storage. But anyway, yeah, that's about going to wrap this setup up. So, again, Connor, thank you so much. That's so nice of you to send me pretty much your entire collection. It's in good hands, most definitely. In fact, I'm probably going to keep all of this together. And I might make a shrine to you, Connor. Would you like that, Connor? A shrine? Yeah, I knew you would. You seem like the type who likes a shrine. And also, again, a disclaimer, if you want to send me something, whether it's army men or fan art or just something or another, reach out to me first, and we'll talk about it. Maybe. I'm not going to say definitely yes, but we're going to have to, like, work something out. And again, no money. Just, if you think money, just no money, no gift cards, none of that. But anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. This is the outro of the video. I'm the Plastic Commander, and if you don't subscribe, I will be in your walls tonight.
Mission accomplished. Well done, man. Pack it up. We're going home.